start this meeting of Sheffield Select Board. Thanks CTSB, as we always do, for the great job they do covering it. And we will start with number 1, board reorganization. And welcome Lee Wutala to his first televised, second meeting, but first televised meeting.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm supposed to look, but I'll watch it.
So I am willing to stay on as chair if that is acceptable. If not, do we have any other thoughts?
Well, I would like to serve as chair since it's my 3rd year and that's the normal time for me to sit in the role.
Okay.
Kind of leaves us.
Can I make a suggestion that we move this to our working meeting
Sure.
next week? I think that would be a better, it'd give me a little bit of time to understand. I didn't know both of you would be interested.
I'm okay with that.
Sure.
Nadine?
No problem.
We will kick this one to our next regularly scheduled working meeting. Updates from the police department. Chief, that's you.
I just realized the first time I did this, I didn't need these.
Well, you know, with the aging process comes the decline.
That's
And
what I'm told.
And it goes both ways, because if you notice, I have to take mine off to read.
Yeah, quick update. So on Monday, May 13th, Ivan Rodriguez, I think most of you know him. He started the academy, the 3rd Holyoke Police Academy in Holyoke. During that academy, which will last for 24 weeks, he'll do everything from criminal law, constitutional law, courtroom testimony, use of force, law enforcement driving techniques, things like that through the EBOC program, firearms training, whole litany of training he's going to go through. Along with that, he's going to have to do a lot of physical fitness training as well, so he should come out even bigger and stronger than he is now. I'm assuming he better, so he better. Ivan is kind of a familiar face to most of us here in Sheffield. He started interning with us for 2 years during his high school time, ever. So he was really kind of interested in this from the beginning. He's also a member of the Sheffield Hose Company for several years as well. He is a sergeant in the Massachusetts National Guard as an MP. He's served overseas several times. So he is fluent in Spanish, which would be a great asset to the town for all departments if need be. And he has offered that and actually done that for us since he's become a cadet for the academy. He's been called by other officers to interpret things, and it's an unbelievable asset to have that for us. So again, he's going to graduate in October, and then after he graduates, he'll spend about 6 to 8 weeks in the field training program with our current staff, training them how to do, Sheffield things and, report writing with the computer system that we have, because not every department in the state has the same computer systems and so forth. And everybody does things a little bit different, but he'll get used to doing complaints, making arrests, processing evidence, all those kinds of things under the, tutelage of our full-time officers that we have now. Recently, another thing that we've been working on since I think 2013 was when we got our first our first cruiser cameras installed in the department. We just went through a wholesale upgrade to that system with new cruiser cameras, along with the grant that we got to get the body cameras. So now they merge together. So they talk to each other and they share all the videos to one page, if you will, rather than having to go to different places to look for items. They're also, everything is stored in the cloud, so there's not a storage issue where before we had to have retention of the video. So, for example, a car accident might purge out of the system after 100 days. Well, now we can take that video and keep it forever in case something comes up, a lawsuit 6 or 7 years later comes up, we'll still be able to retain that information. So that's a great asset for the department to have. And I thank the Board of Selectmen for working with us on this and approving some funding for it and applying for grants and things like that. So I really appreciate that. I think the last thing I have is Bob and I had discussed this a little earlier about the cruiser. We're still waiting on the pickup truck. I keep getting told the same thing, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. But on the other hand, again, with the help of past selectman Renee Wood, we've applied for another USDA grant for a cruiser that we would need the following year. That's probably this time next year. Usually it takes that long for the process to get approved and go through. And I did some research on that, and I think that would be the third cruiser purchased by this USDA grant if we were to receive the grant, which is, I think, amazing that we can do that. So certainly save the taxpayers a lot of money.
Yeah.
Department statistics, from July 1st of 2023 to today, we've had 127 incidents, 151 arrests, 13 orders served, 410 traffic citations, 45 motor vehicle accidents, and 4,047 calls for service for the police department. The accidents, which is interesting, was very low this year compared to other years, but I attribute that to the non-existent winter that we had.
Yeah, lack of snow and ice.
Lack of snow and ice. People can drive on dry, but they can't drive on wet. Maybe I'm a snow person, so I like it, but in this case, I'm glad we didn't have that snow. So
Great.
that's all I have. I don't know if anybody has questions or.
Excellent. Lee, do you have
I
any
do not.
questions?
I just wanted to comment, I'm hearing a lot of positives about the speeding, the stoppages that's happening. The one I heard most about was the 78 mile an hour on Route 41 coming down the hill. I used to live on that road, and you pulled a grandchild into the ditch one day when someone went by me doing about 80.
Right.
So,
So I can touch on that. So that is a grant that we received. It's a $20,000 road safety grant that I applied for and got from the state. So there's different mobilizations for that. This one that we're doing right now is a speed mobilization. July and August, June and July will be OUI enforcement. So it's targeted things that the state, there's a seatbelt violation one, there's a distracted driving, meaning cell phones or people not paying attention. There are all these different mobilizations that go for a month at a time, and then they provide hours for the officers to go out there and perform the duties. So it's an extra patrol aside from the guys that are out normally doing so.
Excellent.
It's good.
very much appreciated by the community is what I'm
Do you
saying.
rotate those locations?
I'm sorry?
And do you rotate those locations of where
Oh,
they
yeah,
do
I mean, I have to be honest with you, every road in Sheffield is a speeding issue.
It seems like it, yeah.
Every road is, so we try to hit it, we try to target some of the more mainstream. Honestly, this one has not really been targeted towards Route 7. It's been Egerton, Sheffield Road, Maple Ave, Portman Street, Hume Street, where we get a lot of, Mr. Clark just pointed out, Silver Street could use some attention, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna send somebody up there tomorrow and in the future, so.
Just the presence slows people down.
Yeah, I know, we had an Ashley Falls Village Improvement Society meeting on Saturday, and I know people are really worried about 7A because of a
Yeah.
lot of children on the road.
Yep.
Oh, sure, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, yep,
Thank you, Eric.
okay.
Can I
Thank you.
just,
so.
before you
Yep.
let him go? When you brought up this meeting in Ashley Falls, I spoke with Mass DOT today, and that speed flashback sign, we're just waiting for a contract from Boston, and then we'll be able to put it up. It'll be a pole mounted so that it can be moved to different locations. We will have to agree to provide the Mass DOT with 3 years worth of data for 3 years, and then once that happens, it's ours. If we want to place it in a state highway, we have to apply for a permit from Mass DOT, which we will work on once we get the agreement and see what that says. And the other thing before Chief left, that Chief and Officer Spratt are going to be honored at the Southern Berkshire Ambulance Annual Awards Dinner on June 1st for a call that happened at their station for a heart attack victim who they were able to save and get help for right away. And I believe it was 2 days or the next day he came into the station to thank them. So, great job for both of you, and congratulations.
I did read that, and
Yeah.
it was great honor for Sheffield and for the department.
These paramedics, firemen, everybody did it. It was a team effort, it really was. So,
Good job.
yeah.
Excellent.
I should have mentioned too, along with that road safety grant, there is funds available, or part of that is equipment purchase. So when I applied for it, we applied for 2 more of the speed signs to be located wherever we deem fit. So like the ones that we put up in other areas. So
Great.
we'll have to discuss that. And so forth.
Wonderful.
And a convex mirror went up on the corner of
I heard that.
Human Street and Maple Avenue, where you pull out of
Yes.
Human Street on the Maple, you can't, the truckers were, the farmers were actually suggested it, because as you look up towards County Road, you can't see from a truck. So now there's that convex mirror across the street, so they can look in the mirror to see if someone's coming, so that should help.
That's really great.
I can
Because
tell
it
you
is
as
a
a-
tough intersection.
Yeah, as a senior van driver, I appreciate that. It's a hard intersection to see
And
anything.
I give credit to Dave, because the highway superintendent, because I talked to him about it, he ordered it that day, they had it delivered, and then 2 days later, and they installed it right away, so.
Great.
Can't ask for better than that.
No, good interdepartment work.
Very good. Rhonda, do you have anything more for Chief?
No.
Thanks, Eric.
Excellent, thank you.
Have a good night.
You too. Discussion, action regarding transfer station permit and coupon costs for FY '25.
Do you have one of these in your packet? No? Okay.
Don't think so.
So I'm proposing that the stickers go regular stickers at $2.15 with a late fee of $2.30 after August 15th. You know, I can give you a copy, you don't have to write
You
it all
mean-
down.
An extra $15 for a total of $230.
Yes,
Okay.
yep. And then the senior sticker would be $185 with a late fee of $200. A recycling sticker would go to $90, which is about, I think it's a $5 increase on that. Second stickers would remain at $10, and then coupons, I'm proposing $35. And 2 would be given at the time that they purchase their transfer station sticker. Those big bulky items are becoming more and more and more expensive to dispose of. I forget, Jill, do you remember what the last bill, there was something like 11 mattresses that had to go into the bulky waste, and we were charged an extra $1,000 for that. So the coupons are really helping to absorb some of those costs.
Well, make a motion that we approve the permit fees and coupon costs as presented by our town administrator.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Announcement of new accounting firm appointee?
Aponte.
Aponte.
So we've engaged with Aponte and Aponte for FY '25. We are currently working with Markham, and we decided to make the switch. This is a father and son company. The father is a certified municipal accountant. The son has finance director and treasurer experience under his belt. They will be remote. If we need them to be on site, they certainly will come in, but we will set it up remote, and the cost will be the same as what we're paying for this fiscal year.
That's great.
Any questions? All right. Discussion action regarding Mass Office on Disability Grant for sidewalks at Senior Center. And I would assume this would probably be under Renee's.
So Renee's working on this grant, right? And so she sent me today saying that she doesn't believe that the Selectboard has approved filing for this grant, so that would be the first order of business. What the plan is in the front door of the senior center, there's the curbing where you have to step up. And so we'd like to take that out and make it a handicapped access to get into the front door for people who are getting dropped off. So that would be what the grant would be for. And then if you decide to go ahead and approve submitting it, we would need a couple other designations made tonight.
I'll make a motion that we move to submit the proposal.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? Now, this wouldn't include going from the senior center
No.
to the
Front door
existing
only.
sidewalk. This is just the front door entrance.
Yes.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So the second thing you'd need to do is to designate someone as the ADA coordinator, which has in the past been the town administrator. So I would ask that you do that again for this grant.
So moved.
Seconded.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
The next thing would be to issue a public notice in accordance with the requirements of the Title II American with Disabilities Act, that we will not discriminate against qualified individuals with disabilities on the basis of disability.
So moved.
Seconded.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
And the last thing is to approve the grievance procedure under the Americans with Disability Act, and that would get published.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion?
Let's keep rotating.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And I think that's it. She'll need a couple letters of support, but Renee's going to work on those.
Wonderful.
Okay, excellent. Always like to get a grant. Okay, discussion possible action regarding Board of Health contract with Southern Berkshire Public Health Collaborative. And we are already have a contract with them. This is just a renewal of.
It is. There's going to be a couple small differences. The Board of Health has approved it. One of the differences is the fees. I believe a grant covered most of the inspection fees for the current year that we're in right now. Next year, that grant won't be available to cover those fees. So we will charge the inspection fees. It will go into the Board of Health revolving fund, and then the collaborative would get paid 90% of those fees, which is in line with how all of the other inspectors work. Other than that, I don't believe there's a change to what the service they're going to provide, unless you have something.
Pat, do you have anything to add?
Excuse me, you characterized it correctly.
What is the typical fee range?
It depends on the service, doesn't it?
I think a fee is $50 for an inspection fee, 35 for some, maybe 50.
So a reasonable number.
Yes.
Well, it depends on the frequency. I mean, if it's a third or fourth, it could be a higher fee. And also it depends on if it's a food inspection or a housing safety inspection, etc. But the point is that they will use those fees and not charge us in excess of that.
So I'll make a motion that we accept the contract between the town of Sheffield and the Tri-Town Health Department as presented.
Authorize me to.
And with authorization for our town administrator to sign on our behalf.
And I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Discussion possible action regarding request for HCA waiver for R&R Ventures LLC. And I talked with Rhonda about this earlier, and I really don't see any benefit for Sheffield by waiving the HCA. Not that there's a lot in them now that has a lot of spine behind it, but I think we should keep them the same for all our host community agreements with our establishments the same.
So R&R Venture came in this week and brought this form in and asked that I sign it. So I asked him to leave it so that I could take a look at it, and Bob is absolutely correct. It's an application for a waiver for the requirements for R&R Venture to not have an HCA with the town. And I told him that I was going to put it on the agenda and discuss it with you, but it would be my recommendation that you don't do that because you're requiring all the other establishments to have one.
Does town council have an opinion on this?
I didn't ask them, but I certainly can.
I don't think you have to. I think I totally agree with the decision to keep it consistent for everybody that's doing business in town.
Yeah, it's certainly not an undue,
No.
or an unruly process for someone to go through. So what would be the reason?
Right. So I'll make a motion that we do not accept the request for the HCA waiver from R&R Ventures LLC.
Seconded.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Appointment announcement for Ashley Falls Historic District Commission. We have a letter of interest here from, and I am probably going to kill this name, Elise
Cantarsi.
Cantarsi. Okay. She's, looks like new to the area and has interest in being on the Ashley Falls Historic Committee.
She's in John James's old house.
Okay, interesting. Right across from Pat.
So Lee, if you're not familiar with the process, and we make the appointment announcements, and then in 2 weeks, we
Yes.
go ahead.
And the reason this isn't waiting for our annual appointment is there is a vacancy on that commission that we could get filled.
Great.
Not an alternate, but a vacancy, yeah.
Excellent.
Nice that someone's stepping up.
Discussion and possible action regarding one-day alcohol permit. Sheffield Historical Society. We have all the information, everything we need.
We do not, they're working on it, so if you decide to approve it, I would ask that you do it pending receipt of insurance certificates.
So moved.
So it's a request for June 14th from 5 to 7 to be held at their Main Street location. And I'll second that motion.
Any further discussion, questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, board member items. Lee, do you have any items tonight?
I do not.
Anything?
I would like to wish the Mount Everett graduates congratulations on their upcoming graduation. They will graduate before our next meeting. I think there's a class of 23 this year, and it will take place at Tanglewood on Saturday, June 1st at 10 o'clock in the morning. So congratulations, and get involved in your community.
I have a granddaughter in that batch.
And I have a grandson in that class.
See that?
Yeah.
We're helping the community all the time. Okay, I have nothing, so we will move on to administrator items.
So what I have for you just came in today for me. And we had worked on a new HCA, and we had all approved the language that was in the HCA. And so I sent it out to 2 of the establishments whose one, I think they both have probably expired, and there's a 3rd one about to expire. And what I got is feedback on the odor.
Which we thought we might hear something on.
We did, and the first one came through and just said that they didn't have a problem with it, but then we were all set to sign it today, and he sent me an email, and I copied it for you, for all of you. That the way that it reads under odor is that it's his determination from what he's read that we're expecting him to spend tens of thousands of dollars on technology to mitigate any odor coming from his establishment. So he's asking, if you look at the second page that I have given you, under F, under odor control, he would like the first paragraph struck and just use the second paragraph.
I would like to kick this to our next working meeting if possible.
I brought it
have
up
not.
tonight only because we've had a delay
Right.
so long that I wanted to see if the board wanted to have him wait. And I don't care, I just want the board behind this decision to hold off a little bit.
Yeah, I think we need a little bit of time to sort of digest, read, and make sure that we're doing what's right for the community as well as for
Yes.
the business owner.
Now, a second one who had it was in and told me that they will have trouble signing this as well, but this was before what I received today, so I don't know if there's been some conversation amongst the owners of the establishment to kind of take a look at that, but
Okay, well, I think we will digest that and get back to them as soon as possible.
Can we put this on our working agenda?
Yes.
For future discussion?
yes.
And maybe we can have, would we have a legal read on what this change would mean? Their suggestion. Would town council look at that or not?
Well, I think that the companies that are approaching us are already grandfathered.
So town council has drafted the HCA that we looked at.
Yeah.
But they threw everything in because nobody knows at this point what the Cannabis Control Commission is going to accept. Renee and I went over it, and we took a lot of the stuff out, but we left the odor in. And I don't know how that would affect the established companies. I'm not sure that we could have them do anything.
Right. But I'm sure that that's what's kind of bringing the concern
Correct.
forward, is that they don't want to sign something that may undo what they think they are protected from at this point. But we can discuss that on the 30th as to what our interpretations are on that.
And is there renewal yearly of the agreement?
No, they had 5 years.
5 years, okay.
And they're all
So we
coming
would,
up.
yeah.
Some of them are already expired, and
Yeah.
so they can't get their license until they have an HCA. And so they've been patiently, 2 of them have been patiently awaiting for us to develop a new HCA.
Which would have been done sooner, except for the Cannabis Control Commission was very slow in getting
Right, it wasn't
the
on the
rules
town.
out, that the changes that they wanted. So, anything else, Rhonda?
No.
Okay, public comment.
Kathleen, 261 East Main Street. I want to commend Nadine for having been very clear in describing what a motion it was that you were making. I can't remember what it was now. But you guys use acronyms, you are shorthanding stuff, and I think for the audience to really understand what you're voting on, I would appreciate it, and I think others would, if you would be a little more explicit, a little more descriptive. It'll take a little bit longer in the grand scheme of things, but I think it will make the listener, the viewer, understand more fully what it is you're talking about and what it is you're proposing.
Well, I hope anyone in the audience that doesn't understand or would like a more descriptive detail will feel comfortable to get up and just ask for
But
clarity.
the camera person,
I do realize that.
Thank you, Pat. I think that's a very good comment for us to be considerate, to
And something that
consider.
might be helpful is that I'll probably need descriptions of those
Yeah,
acronyms too.
it
So I
is-
think that will help the
It
situation.
is
in the
difficult when you're an
present
old timer and it's not, you know,
It seems standard to you,
the
but it
language,
is
right.
new to other
Yes.
people.
No, it's a nice reminder.
Okay. Anyone else? Susan?
We all recognize how important it is for Sheffield officials to maintain a good working relationship with regional planning. And we are aware that in order to accomplish this goal, all Sheffield officials need to act in a transparent manner, with integrity, good faith, and a regard for the democratic process. Unfortunately, during the past 9 months, I was made aware that some Sheffield public officials have not always exhibited integrity, good faith, transparency, or regard for the democratic process. When working with regional planning, they have therefore put Sheffield's good relationship with regional planning at risk. This is not a good place for the town of Sheffield. Tonight I am requesting that the select board place the following topics on the agenda of the next select board meeting. Steps to consider taking in order for the town of Sheffield to restore or maintain a good working relationship with regional planning. At this meeting, I hope to provide you with enough details about the lack of integrity, good faith, transparency, and regard for the democratic process some officials have exhibited when working with regional planning. I hope that these details will allow the Select Board to recognize the necessity for the Select Board to make sure that Sheffield's relationship with regional planning is restored by considering the possibility of instituting a policy that would require the supervision by the Select Board for all future dealings by town officials with regional planning. I believe that the Select Board does not want an abuse of power by town officials to continue. Thank you for your consideration of my request.
I don't know of any issue that we have with regional planning.
I don't either.
I haven't
I
heard of
haven't
any.
heard of any problems between Sheffield and the regional planning.
It's so detailed that I really can't get into it tonight.
Well, if you could forward something to the administrator's office, we can read it, and then we'll have some idea of what you're speaking about, because I don't believe there's any problem between Sheffield and the Regional Planning Commission.
Well, I did say that there may be a future problem, okay? Because I'm unaware of the thoughts of regional planning, because I don't talk to them.
Okay, well,
Okay.
we do, and as far as I know, everything is fine.
Okay, but what has happened could lead to problems.
Okay, well, if you can leave something here that has details of what you're concerned about, because I'm in the dark as far as
Yeah.
what
I'll
you're
come to
talking
your
about.
next meeting and I'll give you a packet of information, okay?
Okay, that's fine.
good. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Anyone else? Seeing how we have no one else, I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Seconded.
Everyone in favor?
Yes.
Yes.